Let it focus. Let it focus. Okay. Hey, everybody, just Mr. Karam here again. So we want to keep going with our rhythmic example or our rhythmic lessons here. This is, again, basic rhythm that we'll need for various test finals and just knowledge of music. Remember, you are becoming musicians, and this is definitely part of that process. So I wanted to do a count the example. Now, as part of this, we in the last few clips, we've gone over all of the three basic notes and the three basic rhythms, symbols, that is. So I've got here, I've got the basics rhythm notes, which are whole note, half note, and quarter note. And then over here, got the basic rests, whole rest, half rest, and quarter rest. And then if you put them kind of side by side, you can see how they sort of line up. Even if I kind of do that a little bit, and how wholes are worth 4, all halves are worth 2, and all quarters are worth 1 each, 1 beat or 1 pulse. Okay, so I have a new count the example right here, and we're just going to kind of go through this quickly and just really kind of establish what this is in the basic rhythm. So here we go. Before we sing or perform or otherwise execute a rhythmic example, we have to analyze the time signature. We talked about this in one of the other videos. This is 4/4 time, which means there are 4 beats or pulses in a measure, and the 4 note or the quarter note, that guy, gets 1 beat. Not a great rendering, but of course I'm not a visual artist. So let's keep going. So in the first measure, I see a bunch of quarter notes and a quarter rest. Okay, I see. So I know right off the bat, any measure, the start of any measure, no matter whether it's sound or silence, is beat 1. There's nothing before 1. 1 always starts a measure. Okay, there's 1. This is 1 full beat, so we go right to the next beat, beat 2. And then following that pattern, we go right to beat 3. Simple. Then we have this symbol right here. Again, it is a quarter rest, so it is worth 1 beat. It is the same exact length as the quarter notes, but it is silence. We know that's beat 4 because, again, it is the same exact length, but it's different in that these are sound and that is silence. Now, with rests and long notes, what I suggest is there are things that you will not say when you count it, like if we were counting it in class. For those, and I know I've gone over this in other videos and in class, but that goes in parentheses. All right, so you're showing that you know what goes here and you know you don't say it. Those are 2 really important pieces of information. Okay, now we have next measure, we have a downbeat of a half note. We know a half note takes up half the measure. The whole measure is 4 beats, so half the measure will be 2 beats. So this is 2 full beats, again, just like this measure and every measure before and after. This is beat 1. Then it's a long note. So there's going to be a beat or a pulse that we do not say. That is beat 2. Again, just like this, I'm going to recommend that you put it in parentheses because when you count this, you will not say 2. Same thing here. This is a quarter rest. This is beat 3 because we have 2 full beats here. Beats 1 and 2 are taken up by this note. So then our next step is beat 3. Okay, this is, again, silence. So we put in parentheses. We come over here and we have a quarter note. So we have beats 1, 2, and 3 completely covered. Okay, now we have beat 4 that lines up on that quarter note. Okay, go to the next measure. Let me try to stabilize this a bit. Go to the next measure and we have another half note. Well, we just did a half note over here. that begun the measure, and this one begins the measure too. So we're going to know it's going to be similar. Well, really, it's going to be identical as this one. Okay, we start beat 1, as always. Sound or silence doesn't matter. Then we also have in this note, in this symbol, we have a 2. But again, I'm going to ask you to put that in parentheses. So I know you're saying 1, but you're holding through. Okay. There are other ways to do that as well. For example, 1-2. That's another good one. And I know many of you who came from the middle school program do 1-2. That is also acceptable. So same thing over here, 1-2, 1-2. I will accept either of those because I think that to me tells me the same information that I'm trying to get you out from up here as down here. Okay. So over here, we have a half rest now. So half note, 2 beats, half rest, 2 beats again. So we've already gone through beats 1 and 2. So the next, obviously, in the succession starts beat 3. 3, and it's 2. This one's also 2 beats. So 3, that's 1. We need to add 1 more, 4. And you can do that, 3-4 in parentheses. That's a little, that tells me everything I need to know. That tells me you can demonstrate and that you understand this, that it's silence. You do not say these beats and that they're together. Okay. Now we end here with a whole rest, which takes up the whole measure. That's why that's the one and only symbol in that measure. We start with beat 1 and we have all 4 beats. So the easiest thing to do there is just 1 through 4, and you put some parentheses around it to show that it's silence. Okay, so that's counting the example here. Now your finals and your tests and whatnot may look different, but this is, or they will look different. They will be different examples, but this gives you the idea of how to do this. Okay, so continuing on with some rhythms, we'll do some 8th notes soon, some 8th note pairs. We won't go into 8th note singles quite yet, but that's what we've got for right now. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to help. See you guys.